Welcome to preliminary final day in the 1998 Australian Fast Pitch Championships. Once again, we're at Homebush Bay, the site of the 2000 Olympic Games. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Michael Palmer. Well, what a big game we've got in store. Traditional rivals New South Wales against Victoria, and the winner gets to face Queensland. It doesn't come any bigger than this in fast pitch softball. Today I'm joined once again by a co-commentator, retired Australian captain, Joyce Lester. Joyce, it's a big prize, the chance to play Queensland in the grand final. Who do you think's going to win it?
Oh, I think New South Wales will win this game. It's very hard, though, because Melanie Roach has been pitching nearly every single game, so she must be getting tired. It's just a matter of asking, can she keep going? And also, Fiona Haynes has been batting the ball very well. Victoria, on the other hand, are probably need a lot more work in their pitching department. They're going to have to work hard from that point of view. Definitely a New South Wales game, I think.
And here we are, ready for this big game at Homebush. The umpires for today's battle between Victoria and New South Wales. 6 umpires, as usual, for these playoff games, and Ken Colpett is behind the plate. He's from the ACT, the most experienced umpire in Australian softball. And it's a big job ahead because this is an absolutely critical game. New South Wales is their lineup. Natalie Ward leads off, the shortstop. Then Fiona Haynes hitting 393. Melina Milson and Natalie Titcomb. Melanie Thomas is hitting 375. Kelly Alassi, the catcher. Tracy Davis, Melinda Wright, and Kerry Wyborn, the centre fielder, bats 9th. She's hitting 308. Defensively for Victoria, around the outfield, Tracy Henderson, Nicole Richardson, and Denise Carriere. The infielders, Ros Coonan, Simone Omiette, Shelley Gwynn, and Peter Eddebone. Back of the plate, the regular catcher, Chris Cox. And on the mound for Victoria today, Sherelle Ainsley. Once again, a good crowd in. Anytime New South Wales have been playing during this tournament, there's been plenty of people to offer their support, and they're going to need every bit of it. This is going to be an intense battle, and of course the winner goes to the grand final. So we're all set now. Sherelle Ainsley is out on the plate, and here is Natalie Ward to start the preliminary final of the National Women's Championship. First pitch, it's straight back to the middle, off Sherelle Ainsley. Tough play for the second base, Shelley Gwynn, but she handles the deflection well and gets the first out.
Well, I think the pitcher slowed that one down. She hit it straight back through her, slowed it down so second base could actually make the out.
And does it comfortably by about half a step. So Natalie Ward is retired. She heads back to the dugout. And now here comes really the star of this offensive lineup. The team hits 260 as a group, but Fiona Haynes, the second base, is hitting 393.
She's been a dangerous batter all tournament. They really need to keep the ball away from her.
First pitch again, rips a great defensive play. Ros Coonan is so close to the hitter there. She's playing in case of the bunt, and she just, all reflexes, leant down, grabbed it, and threw her out at first.
Yes, Fiona Haynes absolutely kills this ball, and it's a great stop from the third base.
She's only a matter of 10 or so metres, not even that, probably 7 or 8 metres from the bat, and just grabbed it as it went past. And now we see Melina Milson, the first base. And again, this ball, first pitch, is hit down the right field line, bounces over the base, it's fair. Milson's going to hold at first base. A nice play out in right field by Denise Carriere. New South Wales come out swinging, and now they get a base hit.
Yes, there's not many pitches been let go so far. Any ball that seems to come over, New South Wales have obviously decided we're going to get any strike that comes over the plate. Let's go for it.
Pretty interesting approach to start the preliminary final, but so far it's worked with Melina Milson. And here goes Natalie Titcomb, keeping this trend up. She goes after the first pitch, but fouls it back.
Natalie Titcomb's a great hitter, very capable of hitting it over the fence on a regular basis. New South Wales have come in here hitting the ball hard. That must be very hard for Ainsley on the mound.
Here we are, pitch up out of the strike zone. The first pitch they haven't swung at, and already we've got a base hit and 2 out. So Melina Milson waits down at first base. She'll be hoping that Natalie Titcomb can really get after one. Goes for it, but fouls it back. Count runs out to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That ball was right in there for Natalie Titcomb to hit. They've got to keep the ball away from her, at least slow it down a little bit.
good swing, really gets after it, but just doesn't quite catch up to it. Fouls it back, and the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Anything close, those New South Wales batters are just swinging, and they're swinging hard at the ball. I wonder how Victoria are feeling at the moment. Every time a ball goes down, they seem to be taking a big swat at it.
Again, she hits it very hard and high and a long way, but it's going to be foul. Just hooks away. So made fabulous contact, but no result.
Very long strike there. The count still remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 out here at the top of the first inning.
It'd be nice to see Ainsley throwing a change-up or something. Oh, nice rise.
Yeah, throws a high, hard one up past Natalie Titcombe. She continues this New South Wales tradition here in the first inning of swinging at anything, swings through it and strikes out. So Melina Milson is left at first base and New South Wales don't score.
Tracy Davis, third base.
On the other side, of course, Victoria will send this batting order. Denise Carriere leads off, the right fielder hitting 308. Catcher Chris Cox at 364. Then Simone Amiet and Peter Eddebone, the clean-up hitter, 381 with 3 home runs. She's followed by Nicole Richardson, Ros Kuhn and Tracy Henderson, the left fielder hitting 313. Sherelle Ainsley and in the 9 spot, Shelley Gwynn. Defensively for New South Wales around the outfield, Melinda Wright, Kerry Wyborn and Tracy Davies. The infield is Natalie Titcombe, Natalie Ward, Fiona Haynes and Melina Milson. Behind the plate, catcher Kelly Alassi. And on the mound, the star pitcher for New South Wales, Melanie Roach.
It's interesting, Melanie out here pitching again. I'm sure that the coach Blanchard from New South Wales would be hoping that New South Wales will get an early lead so they can take Melanie off to rest her.
She's certainly seen a lot of action, but she's got fantastic statistical numbers. 76 strikeouts in 39 innings. More than 2 batters per inning as she struck out. She's walked only 3, and in all the games she's pitched during this national tournament, she's given up only 8 safe hits.
I was talking to New South Wales trainer before the game, and she was telling me that Melanie Roach's shoulder was very stiff and very sore, so it'll be interesting to see how Melanie goes.
The pitch about the strike zone, but Denise Carriere chases it, swings through it. There's Jeff Fairbanks down at third base, the coach of Victoria. Carriere makes contact over to second base, where it's well handled by Fiona Haynes. She throws to Melina Milson, and that's the first out for Victoria here in the bottom of the first.
And Denise has actually reached for that ball and dragged it around to second base. I think the important part here for Victoria is they've got to be patient and wait for those strikes. Leave all those waste pitches of Melanie's alone.
Now here's Chris Cox, who in a previous game we saw her hit an important home run to help Victoria make it all the way to the preliminary final. She's hitting 364, got 3 runs batted in.
Ooh.
Just one.
I don't know, that looked like a strike to me.
Yeah, they certainly looked like they wanted that. Kelly Alassi's discussing it behind home plate. Melanie Roach was pretty keen to see that called a strike, but Ken Colbert decided it was too low. 2 balls and no strikes on Chris Cox. That was an important strike for Melanie Roach then. She was behind 2, needed to get a strike in against Cox. Drop ball down and in. Chris Cox chases it, swings through, and now the count's even. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Melanie Roach seems to be going okay so far. Those drop balls are still dropping off the table. Good swing by Chris Cox. Very aggressive.
The shortstop, Simone Amiet.
Just changing over the ball, Kelly Lassie and plate umpire Ken Colpett. Down and in again. It was the pitch she missed earlier, and she swings through it this time. First strikeout of the game for Melanie Roach, and the second out here in the first inning.
Again, the batter thinking that ball's going to be a strike, and it just disappears down into the dirt at the last minute.
Nice little low rise, comes up into the strike zone. Starts Simone Amiot with a strike. Drop ball, you can see the action of Melanie Roach there, just turning the ball over and drops down. Second strike here on Simone Amiet with 2 out in the bottom of the first inning.
That ball stayed in there that time. That was lucky for Roach.
2 strikes.
It's very important for Victoria to get bat on ball. That's the hardest thing for all the teams against Melanie Roach. She just keeps moving that ball all the time. They really need to put the ball in play and force errors against New South Wales.
Peter Eddebone there in the background. She's the on-deck hitter. Clean-up hitter for Victoria, and she'll be hoping to get a chance if Simone Amiet can get on. Melanie Roach just backs off, just make sure she's comfortable, goes through a normal routine. So
ensuring the catcher everything's okay. It's not her, it's me. Oh, nice pitch.
Yeah, throws that high pitch up out of the strike zone, but Simone Amiet chases it. Mel Roach really happy with that result. Second strikeout of the inning, and that sends Victoria down without scoring. So we played one complete inning here at Homebush. It's New South Wales nothing and Victoria nothing. In the top of the second inning, Melanie Thomas is walked to open the inning. And this is immediately followed by Kelly Lassie hitting it to Peter Eddebone. She turns, but uncharacteristically throws the ball into centre field. Thomas gets up and heads down to third. Great opportunity now for New South Wales with runners at first and third. And then Melanie Thomas scores as this pitch gets away from Chris Cox, goes back to the screen. She comes in and New South Wales take the lead on a couple of errors. They're up 1-0. Then in the bottom of the second, Peter Eddebone leads off with a base hit for Victoria into right field. And then the problems we talked about earlier with Melanie Roach's arm, and some real concern here for New South Wales. The coaching staff and physios are out on the field checking her out, but in typical fashion, Melanie Roach battles back and strikes out Shirley Ainsley to end the inning. But New South Wales did the damage in the top of it, and they lead 1-0 after 2 innings. Well, as we go into the top of the third inning, New South Wales retain their 1-0 lead, but got to be a lot of concern in the New South Wales dugout. That's Melanie Roach, their pitcher, having some more work done on her arm. She looks in a fair bit of discomfort. She battled back through that second inning, but New South Wales have got to be hopeful that she can stay in the game. As Fiona Haynes leads off the second inning.
Well, so far they've kept Fiona quiet, which is a good thing. They need to keep those New South Wales batters doing very little at all.
Fiona Haynes grounded out to the third base on a really hard hit ball back in the first inning. Shirley Ainsley still pitching for Victoria. Obviously disappointed with some of the things that have happened around her back in the second. It was the wild throw. She did walk the person who eventually scored, and then there was the pass ball. This one again is hit hard down third base. Same routine from Fiona Haynes and same result. Ros Kernan in the way, and that's the first out.
Yes, Fiona Haynes isn't happy with herself. Same pitch, same thing, to the third base, hard hit. I'm sure when she comes up next time she won't be doing that. Well,
with one out, first base, Melina Milson steps into the batter's box, hitting .333. 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. Goes after the first pitch, hits it to the right of Simone Amier, and she can't get balanced. Wild throw against the screen behind first base. She never got herself set. Looking at her hand, it really slipped out and missed first base by a mile. It puts a runner on.
It comes right off the top of her hand. She makes a great backhand snatch and just right off those fingers and just keeps elevating all the way to the fence. Very uncharacteristic for Simone Amier.
Yeah, it certainly was. We've seen her play some wonderful defensive shortstop during this tournament, but that was one that just got away.
Victoria must be thinking, you know, they've got to make one play at a time. They've got to keep making those outs. Last innings was very upsetting for them.
That's exactly right. New South Wales with just 1 hit. It was back in the first inning, but since then there's been a walk and now 3 errors by Victoria.
I know it sounds easy, but at times like this you really have to stick to basic softball. You know, try and get everything back in a plan and get your head right and make simple outs.
Natalie Titcomb hits this hard into left field. Setting out there, it's handled by Tracy Henderson. Good piece of hitting, and that moves Melina Milson down to second base. So we've got runners at first and second and 1 out for New South Wales.
Well, that pitch from Ainsley just sat right there, right in the middle. I mean, it's amazing, and they're very lucky that Titcomb only got just 1 hit out of that.
Yeah, she really wasn't able to lift it. But Melanie Thomas, who scored the first run of the ball game back in the second innings, now steps into the batter's box. And this is another great opportunity with a good hitter at the plate for New South Wales to extend their lead.
Coach must be looking at Shirley Ainsley at this stage. Not many of the pitches are moving. They're just sitting in there.
This one's lifted over the shortstop into the left centre field gap. It's going to be a couple of runs for New South Wales. Here comes Milson. She scores. And
that's a great hit from Melanie Thomas. Very timely. Just to put a little bit more pressure on that Victorian team. But Shirley Ainsley, I mean, the coach has got to be thinking about taking her out of there. She's just putting that ball right in there. And I hate to say it, but it's almost got "hit me" written on it.
Yeah, it certainly does. As Natalie Titcomb is actually held at third base. I thought for a moment they're going to wave her in. But Melina Milson comes around and scores on this great piece of hitting by Melanie Thomas. And now we've got runners at second and third. That's Thomas there at second. Natalie Titcomb is down at third base. And catcher Kelly Alassi steps into the batter's box with New South Wales leading 2-0.
New South Wales are just putting more and more pressure on that Victorian side.
And this ball is chopped down the infield. Squeeze play, here comes the run. She scores. And Kelly Alassi's safe at first base. She's now trying to head down to second. She's caught between first and second. There's the throw. They're trying to get the runner off third base, and she's back in safe. Real problems here for Victoria as New South Wales extend the lead. They're now in front 3-0.
I mean, that's great coaching by Barry Blanchard. A little bit more pressure, as I'm saying. They decide to put the bunt down, put a squeeze on, send that runner home, put extra pressure on the Victorian side, and unsettle them even more. And I mean, they just did that so perfectly. Well done, Kelly Alassi. Great bunt.
And there you can see her. She takes off to second base to try and draw the play and give them another opportunity to throw up to second. And Nicole Richardson comes in from centre field to cover second base. She makes the throw. Here comes Natalie Titcomb on the squeeze bunt. Scores comfortably. Really a great play by New South Wales. Tracy Davis comes in, hits the first pitch, and that's going to be another run. That was absolutely ripped into left field. Melanie Thomas scores, and now it's 4-0.
Yes, again, that ball's right in there to be hit, and New South Wales are taking full advantage of Ainsley, probably feeling a lot of pressure. I mean, there's been a lot of errors been made, so that puts extra pressure on the pitcher.
Yeah, really a lot of uncertainty on behalf of Victoria out there, and that's going to be all for Shirley Ainsley. Sharon Kerwood now comes in, 16 innings pitched. She's seen a bit of action during the national tournament, and she's got to come in and try and stop New South Wales, who are on a run-scoring spree right now in the third inning.
Sharon Kerwood's been doing a lot of work lately. Seen a few stints in the Australian teams over the last year. So she hasn't quite pitched as well as what anyone expected her to do this tournament. So she'll need to really work hard on the mound. There's a lot of pressure on there, and she just needs to work to that glove.
And left fielder Melinda White is now in the batter's box. She's got Kelly Alassi at second base and Tracy Davis over at first. And, of course, there is still only one out here in the third inning. 2 runners on base, and already New South Wales have got 3 runs in this inning. As you see, Barry Blanchard, the coach, he's been very aggressive in this ball game. He's had his team swinging right from the start, and it's eventually paid dividends. They put a lot of pressure on Victoria and have raced to a 4-0 lead.
And Victoria have been doing exactly what Barry Blanchard wants. They keep chasing runners. As I said before, they need to keep it simple. They need to make outs, and that's going to be the only thing that's going to bring them back this game.
Sharon Kerwood's come straight in, throwing with pretty good pace, and fires that in for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike on Melinda Wright. This ball hit back to the mound. Kerwood handles it. She's going to go to first base. Handled by Peter Eddebone over there. That gets Melinda Wright for the second out, but not before the runners each move up a base.
And she hits that pretty hard back at Sharon Kerwood, who fumbles with it and makes a good out at first base.
So runners at second and third now as New South Wales continue to threaten, and we're the number 9 hitter, centre fielder Kerry Wyborn. But for a number 9 hitter, she's hitting 308 as they've got the runner caught between home and third. And this throw gets away. And here comes Kelly Alassi. All sorts of problems for Victoria. They had it caught off base, hung up there, but they make the mistake, and she comes in to score, and now New South Wales lead 5-0.
That's a great play by Chris Cox. But Victoria just can't take a trick at the moment. Everything they do well ends up in a bit of a mess. I mean, they're just feeling that pressure. They can't seem to make the simple outs that they normally do.
And just at the moment, the wheels really have come off the Victorian lineup. They've given up 3 hits in this inning, but have made some crucial errors and really haven't had the thing under control. And that's the result. They find themselves 5 runs behind here in the top of the third inning.
Sharon Kerwood, she seems to be just throwing the ball too hard here. Normally she's got a good rise pitch, a good drop pitch, and she just seems to be wanting to blast them away. I suppose it's that added pressure on her.
Tracy Davis is down at third base. But there's 2 out as Kerry Wyborn faces Sharon Kerwood. And one's just fouled back behind home plate.
This has been a great innings for New South Wales, really putting the pressure on. You know, you wonder 4 or 5 runs ahead it is now, whether Coach Blanchard would be thinking about taking Melanie Roach off to save her.
Wow, that was close up and inside, and Kerry Wyborn nearly ducked into that, just missed her helmet.
And a pretty quick pitch too.
2 strikes on the hitter, Kerry Wyborn.
And a good pitch from Kerwood strikes out Kerry Wyborn and ends the agony for Victoria, but not before New South Wales come through. They pick up 3 hits, there's a couple of errors, but they score 4 big runs. And so we played 2.5 innings, and New South Wales lead by a score of 5-0.
Hi, I'm Melanie Roach from the New South Wales Fire Stars. Hope you're enjoying watching Fast Pitch Softball.
After all their problems in the top of the third, Victoria come out in the bottom of the third and really challenge New South Wales. Shelley Gwynn leads off with a base on balls. Then Denise Carrier picks up a base hit into right field that gives Victoria 2 base runners. After a couple of outs, Peter Eddebone is then intentionally walked before Melanie Roach fires back hard and strikes out Nicole Richardson to end the inning with the bases loaded. As the game progresses through the 4th inning and into the 5th, both pitchers, Kerwood and Roach, remain on top. and the defences really contribute, including Kerry Wyborn, who makes this wonderful catch in centre field for New South Wales. Into the top of the 5th, and Sharon Kerwood on the mound for Victoria strikes out Kelly Alassi, and the score remains at 5-0 in favour of New South Wales. Well, time's starting to slip slowly away from Victoria. New South Wales retaining this 5-run lead, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Victoria really need to make some things happen if they're going to try and get back into the ball game. And here's Denise Carriere, picked up a base hit last time. She leads off the bottom of the 5th.
It's been great having Denise over here playing. I mean, she just shows the versatility. Bunts, slap bunts, hitting. She's definitely an asset for the Victorian side.
That pitch up a little bit in the strike zone. Kim Culper calls it a strike to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Denise Carriere, who's come over from Canada to join Victoria. Gets after this one and lifts it deep into centre field. Will it carry? It does. A massive home run by Denise Carriere to dead centre. Isn't she excited?
That was a great hit. She pulled it right down. It was very low and just absolutely had it sailing over the fence, and she looks excited about that. She's having a great game.
Her first home run of the tournament, and that's her second hit of the ball game. And no one's more excited than Denise Carriere as she just lifts this into centre field, and it keeps on travelling. And there it is, disappears well over the home run fence, steps on home plate. Victoria have finally scored a run and reduced New South Wales' lead. It's now 5-1.
Mel Roach doesn't look very happy about that, but it's good to see her smiling. I suppose you can when you're 5 runs ahead, so 1 home run really doesn't mean too much.
Well, Denise Carriere does the job that she wanted to do, and now here's Chris Cox, catcher for Victoria. Struck out back in the first, hit a ground ball back to the pitcher in the 3rd inning. She's batting .308. Also has 1 home run during the national tournament. This ball hit hard. Here come Victoria. This one's ripped out into left field. Good piece of hitting by Chris Cox. It's handled by Melinda Wright out there. And now Victoria have a runner at first base.
It's a great hit from Chris, and I think Melanie wouldn't be very happy about that pitch. It didn't quite drop how she wanted it to.
Melanie Roach maybe just starting to struggle now into the 5th inning. We know she's had those arm problems early in the game, and I think we're a little bit surprised that she's still out there pitching with New South Wales having a comfortable lead.
Yes, but she looks a little bit uncomfortable. If you compare her to the other games, her movement's not as great.
Simone Armiette in the batter's box, the shortstop for Victoria. She also struck out back in the first, hit a ground ball to the 3rd base in the 3rd inning, but now she's got a chance with a runner at first base to keep helping Victoria claw their way back.
Simone Armiette's been playing very well, been hitting the ball very well for Victoria. And Mel Roach, even though she's probably not pitching at her best, is doing a great job at keeping her to no hits. Oh, you can see her flinching there, if you know Melanie. She's definitely favouring that shoulder.
Well, she certainly looks pretty uncomfortable out there on the pitcher's plate. But she'll continue to battle away, and she does with that great pitch to Simone Armiette. A little rise ball that just hops up there. She swings through it for the first out.
And that's the one thing about Mel Roach. I mean, it doesn't matter what's happening. She can always pull that extra pitch out, do that little bit extra that gets her team where New South Wales always get in the final.
Yeah, they're certainly on their way to the final, but the one player from Victoria who really can try and answer that challenge is their best hitter, number 4 hitter, Peter Eddebone. Already picked up a base hit to right field back in the 2nd inning, and they showed her a lot of respect in the 3rd by intentionally walking her with 2 runners on base.
And that was a good move from New South Wales.
Worked out very well as Melanie Roach then came back to strike out Nicole Richardson.
They don't look like they're going to give Peter Eddebone much here either. They seem to be working her off the plate and hoping that she's going to take a swing at one of those balls. I just have to ask you this, Michael. What do you think of the New South Wales uniforms?
They're certainly pretty interesting. They've got two different sorts of uniforms. They've got sort of, I guess what you'd describe as a bodysuit under their shorts.
Yeah, I think they look fantastic. I think it's a great change for softball. I'd like to see more of the teams actually getting into it.
They certainly give them an extremely athletic appearance.
Yes, I think it's too those cut-off arms. I often wondered why we wear sleeves in softball, but New South Wales have been a little bit risque out there and getting into the lycra.
Bit progressive as Peter Edibone gets after this one and just pulls it foul. Made great contact, but came around too early. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The counts fall on Peter Edibone. That's Chris Cox, the Victorian catcher, over there at first base. Great pitch. Melanie Roach really excited with that. She got Peter Edibone. I don't think it was the pitch she was looking for. And froze Peter Edibone, struck her out for the second out.
Oh, well, that slow pitch there, Peter, she absolutely caught Peter by surprise. Peter didn't even move a bat. That was a great pitch.
Just really buckled at the knees as it came in. And great achievement there by Melanie Roach, and she was really excited about it. Now here's the next challenge. Nicole Richardson hitting .316. She goes after the first one, lifts it down into right field, but well taken by Tracy Davis, and what a good inning from Melanie Roach. Sets down the real key batters in the Victorian order, but not before Denise Carriere. It's the big home run to centre field to give Victoria their first run, as we see that fly ball go down the right field line. So Victoria get on the scoreboard, but after 5 complete innings, it's New South Wales 5 and Victoria 1.
Margot, as National Umpiring Director, you must be pleased with how the umpires are going in this tournament.
Standard's very good at the moment, Joyce, yes, and we're very pleased with the way the program is progressing.
Yes, it is excellent, and I wonder what sort of representation you would expect from the Australian umpires at the Olympics.
We have been advised that we will have a maximum of 5, definitely 4.
And when will that actually be decided?
January of 2000. So we have a very big program to get our people through.
So what will that entail? You know, the Olympics being on in another 3 years and a World Series this year. You know, what sort of international experience will they be getting between now and then?
They have to be ISF accredited, and we are hoping to get 4 at least seen by the selection panel, and their names go forward to the ISF Executive Council in December of '99. So we're hoping that we'll probably get at least 8 of our people seen through World Championships, regional qualifiers in '98 this year and next year in '99.
As host nation, do we get more umpires than the other nations now that the Olympics are being held here?
Definitely. We will have definitely 4. At the very minimum, we'll have 4. I hope we can get through to 5.
That's great. Thanks for talking to us.
My pleasure.
Well, we head into the top of the 6th inning, and New South Wales will be looking to respond to that 1 run that Victoria scored in the bottom of the 5th on the home run by Denise Carriere. And they send up their right fielder, Tracy Davis, hitting .316 to face Sharon Kerwood.
Good strike to get in there early with Sharon Kerwood.
Well, Tracy Davis chased that one, and it seemed to bounce just about in front of home plate. It's one she would have liked to have stayed away from. Tracy Davis having a pretty good game. Hit a fly ball to centre field in the second, but picked up a key base hit into left field back in the 3rd inning when New South Wales scored their 4 big runs that broke the game wide open. Ball hits straight back to Sharon Kerwood. Handles it comfortably, throws it to Peter Edibone, and that's the first out.
And Tracy reaches for that ball on the outside and really doesn't quite get a follow through on it. But as you can see, she's quite quick. I mean, you wouldn't look at Tracy and think she was a fast runner.
And now we've got a pinch hitter. Brooke Frauenfelder is going to come in. She's going to hit from Melinda Wright here in the 6th inning.
And we're looking at a girl here who's been through the Australian under-19 team, and she's a great junior. She's been doing some good work with New South Wales.
Nice drop ball from Sharon Kerwood, and Frauenfelder swings through that one.
It's good to see the coach from New South Wales bringing these girls in from the bench and giving them a little bit of experience. That's really important, because if he wants them to play later on, you know, they need to be able to see the ball coming down at them.
That's exactly right, and particularly with New South Wales, they certainly look like they're on their way to the grand final and a rematch with Queensland. They've got this 5-1 lead, and I'm sure they're pretty confident about being able to hold on to it.
Oh, nice pitch from Sharon Kerwood.
Certainly was. Got her away on the outside of the plate. Strikes out Brooke Frauenfelder for the second out.
And she takes a great cut at the ball there.
That's Barry Blanchard, New South Wales coach, has had a pretty good game. And he gives another young player an opportunity. Sheridan Ryan, just her 9th at-bat of the National Championships, but already she's picked up 2 hits. And she comes in here in the 6th inning with 2 out. She's going to bat in place of Kerry Wyborn, the centre fielder for New South Wales.
New South Wales have got a great junior program that goes through there. They train so hard, and they've got such a consistent lot of juniors pushing those seniors there. Each year they have a few of them in there. It's great to see.
Two pitches in a row to Sharon Ryan, and she swung through both of them. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 out here in the 6th inning. Great pitching by Sharon Kerwood. Strikes out Frauenfelder and Ryan, the 2 pinch hitters. And that retires New South Wales in the top of the 6th inning and gets Victoria back into the batter's box with a chance to add another run or 2. At the moment, they trail 5-1 in the middle of the 6th.
It's been a different game since Sharon Kerwood's come on. She's really kept the New South Wales batters at bay. They're not doing much at all.
Yeah, certainly been a good performance by Kerwood, but also by this lady, Melanie Roach. She's really dominated this Victorian lineup, and even though they've had a few base runners, every time they've issued a challenge, she's been able to come up with a big strikeout to keep New South Wales well and truly on track to this grand final. Another good pitch right on the knees to Ros Coonan.
She's definitely favouring that arm. It almost looks like that right shoulder is a lot lower than that left shoulder.
Oh, nice pitch, but Ros Coonan gets out in front of it and hits it down the left field line. A great piece of hitting. She makes the turn but holds at first base. A wonderful defensive play by Melinda Wright out there in left field.
As Ros Coonan waits on that ball very well and slams it down the left field line. No wonder if Melanie's just out there throwing the ball over and just trying to do whatever she can at the moment.
Here's Tracy Henderson, the left fielder, hitting .333. Picked up a base hit to left field back in the 2nd inning. Fly ball to centre in the 4th. But now she's got an opportunity with Ros Coonan at first base and no one out.
Tracy's played quite well this tournament, but she had a few games off with an injury. But it's good to see her back playing in here for Victoria today.
It's the ball to shortstop, Natalie Ward. They try and turn the double play, but they don't get it. It was a nice attempt, but they get the lead runner at 2nd base for the first out.
And you can see Tracy Henderson favouring that leg as she runs through first base. If I remember correctly, from a ball that she dived for at the beginning of the tournament.
So a nice play there by Natalie Ward. She flips it over to 2nd base Fiona Haynes for the force out. And with 1 out and a runner at first base is the pitcher, Sharon Kerwood, stepping into the batter's box.
Oh, she was almost tempted to go for that rise. And this is Sharon's 2nd turn at bat. And up against Melanie Roach again. That's a tough call.
It was a pretty good swing at that, but was well under it. That evens the count up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I wonder if Melanie Roach is hoping that they all hit the first pitch that she throws down so she doesn't have to throw as many.
The rise ball up in the strike zone. Kerwood leaves it alone. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Kelly Alassie's doing a great job behind the plate there, calling Melanie Roach in.
Perfect location, right on the outside corner. They really worked well to Sharon Kerwood and strike her out for the second out.
Just what Melanie Roach would want, all strikes.
Yeah, she'd certainly love someone to hit the first pitch and just knock it straight back to her. It's a bit of relief. Here we go with Shelley Gwynn. Still got the runner at first base, but now there's 2 out. And Shelley Gwynn plays second base for Victoria. She's had a walk and a strikeout so far in this game.
So you wonder, like at the moment she's not throwing many drop balls. I wonder whether it's that drop ball that's been giving her more of a hassle with the shoulder. She seems to be sticking to that rise. I wonder whether the Victorian team are actually noticing this.
Yeah, she really has got a different approach to pitching right now. And there she goes again with another one, but it works. She throws it past Shelley Gwynn, picks up 2 strikeouts in the inning. They give up the base hit to Ross Coonan, but it doesn't do any damage. As you see, Melanie Roach firing pretty much rise balls right now and doing the job for New South Wales. So we're through 6 complete innings here at Homebush, and New South Wales retain their lead. It's 5-1. Well, we're into the 7th inning. New South Wales have continued to hang on to this 5-1 lead. Victoria will try and retire them as quickly as they can so they can get back into the batter's box and do their best to claw their way back into the ball game. And here we are, leading off for New South Wales, Natalie Ward.
Natalie's been unsuccessful this game today. It'd be great to see her get a hit.
Pretty good first swing. She's had 3 ground balls, 1 to second base, 1 to third base, and 1 to shortstop. So she's spread them around, but hasn't been able to get on base.
I mean, Natalie's a fantastic player, and I know she's not hitting the ball as well as she normally does, but you can never count on, you'll always count on her, I should say.
She's come up swinging here in the 7th inning. Goes after the first 2 pitches, fouls one back and then misses that one. No balls and 2 strikes. Hits this one hard into centre field. Will it carry? It does. A home run. Nicole Richardson can't catch up with it. And Natalie Ward comes alive for New South Wales in the 7th inning and adds an extra run.
I should have to be happy about that. I mean, what a way to come back with a home run. She just absolutely creamed that ball. She waited for it and slammed it over the fence. It was a great job.
Yeah, this was hit about as well as she can, and it just seemed to keep on going. Had a lot of power and cleared the fence easily. A wonderful piece of hitting by Natalie Ward, and New South Wales leads 6-1.
6-2-1.
Well, Sharon Kerwood's been excellent up until now.
The second base, number 9.
Yeah, she certainly has. She retired the last 11 hitters in a row that she faced until she saw Natalie Ward in the 7th inning.
And they've kept Fiona Haynes fairly quiet this game too. And that's a great job too for Victoria.
But really it was the last thing Victoria wanted. They had enough of a task chasing 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th as we see a ground ball to third base. Nice play by Ros Kernan to retire Fiona Haynes. And just continuing that, now they've got 5 runs to chase in the bottom of the 7th.
And Fiona Haynes seems to like hitting to third base this game. I think I made a statement that she probably wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, that's her third ground ball to third base. The first two were really sharply hit. That one was a bit more comfortable for Ros Coonan. She's also had one strikeout. But here we go with Melina Milson. Melina Milson has picked up a base hit back in the first inning. Got on a wild throw by shortstop Simone Amiot in the third and went around to score and had a fly ball to centre field in the fourth.
Pressure's off New South Wales. I mean, they should just be standing there and hitting hard and swinging hard at this ball.
And this ball's lofted down into foul territory at first base. Comfortably handled by Peter Eddebone for the second out.
And Melina just hasn't got that shoulder and that power behind that ball. She sort of dropped that right shoulder and lifted it up to first base.
Natalie Titcombe jumps into the batter's box, and this tradition of just swinging away at the first pitch continues for New South Wales. It's been very effective.
I almost thought it was almost the same shot, that dipping the back shoulder and going on that outside pitch.
High pitch, looked like it was up out of the strike zone, but Natalie Titcombe chased it.
Yes, if, Victoria, I think, actually K'd Titcombe on a rise ball in one of her previous turns at bat.
This time she goes after it, hits it high in the air. It's a chance down the left field line. Here comes the shortstop, Simone Amiot. What a wonderful backhand catch on the run in foul territory. And that retires Natalie Titcombe and also retires New South Wales.
Yes, Natalie's right underneath that again. But it's a great catch here from the shortstop.
Yeah, fabulous effort by Simone Amiot. But in that inning, of course, Natalie Ward came through. She led off with a home run, tacks an extra run on, and New South Wales now lead 6-1 and are well and truly on their way to the grand final. They just need 3 more outs against Victoria, and then they'll see Queensland in that big grand final rematch.
And Denise Carrier again, having a great game.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone so excited after hitting a home run as she was last time. Just about jumped out of her skin. It was really one of the highlights of the ball game.
She's definitely an excitable girl.
That's good. Adds a bit of spark at the top of the lineup and has really been very effective for Victoria. A great addition to their team.
Yes, and she might be a player that the Australians might see over at the World Series in Japan this year. Denise Carrier's in the Canadian squad for the World Series team.
On the form we've seen today from her, I think she's got every chance to meet up with the Australians again in July as they all do battle for the 9th Women's World Championship. Did she go? Yes. Umpire Ken Colbert said she did. She was trying to talk him out of it. But the call stands. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A nice moment there at home plate.
Didn't quite work, Denise, but nice try. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Melanie Roach flinching there.
Yep, she looks in all sorts of trouble there out on the pitcher's plate now. Doesn't look comfortable at all, in a lot of pain. Pretty surprising they've really gone with her this long into the ball game with such a comprehensive lead. And some doubts about whether that'll come back to haunt them later.
Look at that, she's in pain. I mean, I know she just got a K2, but have a look at her. I mean, the girl looks like she's almost in tears. Watch her arm after this pitch. Ow, ow.
Yeah, she's not comfortable, and that's going to be all for Melanie Roach. What a wonderful performance on the mound. She's as good as pitched her team, New South Wales, into the grand final, and let's hope she can come back in time to be effective in that ball game. She strikes out Denise Carrier, and now
Kelly Gentle on the mound for New South Wales. This is great to see again. I mean, we haven't seen enough of the young New South Wales pitchers on the mound to date. Melanie Roach has been doing most of the work for them, and the coach has actually been bringing Mel in quite a bit when the team's been in trouble.
So here we are with Kelly Gentle. She's going to pitch to Chris Cox, Victorian catcher. Chris Cox struck out back in the first, had a ground ball in the third, but picked up a base hit in the fifth inning. Hit the ball hard into left field. This ball hit the third base. Well handled by Natalie Titcomb. Does it comfortably, throws over to first to get Chris Cox, and now New South Wales are just 1 out away from a spot in the grand final.
Well, Kelly Gentle's doing a job coming on the mound. That's exactly what she needs to do, to confidently put the ball over the plate and let the rest of the team do the job.
Here we are, Victoria down to their last out. Simone Amiette at the plate, the shortstop.
She's no slouch on the speed either, Kelly Gentle. She's throwing them in there.
Yeah, she's really come in firing. She only knows that she knows she's only got to face a couple of hitters, so she's not going to leave anything out. Really come after them.
A nice pitch right on the edge of the plate.
Two outs. Bottom of the seventh inning.
Just missed up. Pretty close pitch. Simone Amiette lays off it. 2 balls and 1 strike.
So I wonder how Kelly Alassie's feeling too. She's been catching most of the games for New South Wales.
Yeah, it can really be hard work in behind home plate, as you'd well know. It's pretty tough catching most of the games of the tournament.
Well, Kelly's had a history of bad knees as well, and if you've noticed when she comes up to bat, she has a brace on her knee. So catching for a long time for her is also a bit of a hassle.
Nice pitch. She's fallen behind. 3 balls and 1 strike, but comes back with that spot on the outside corner. And it's full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And just misses outside, and that's ball 4. So Victoria, down to their last out, keep things alive as Simone Amiette walks, and Peter Eddebone will come into the batter's box.
I mean, this is the batter they really wanted to get. This is the one they wanted to get out. They don't really want Peter Eddebone to come up. I mean, she's been batting so well and so consistently this tournament. Great stop, Kelly Alassie.
That was a wild one, and Kelly Alassie reached up, dragged it down, and kept the runner at first base.
Oh, that was the one for Peter Eddebone to hit, I think.
Certainly was. She came straight back down the middle. She lays off it, evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Peter Eddebone is renowned for watching the first strike over, so...
She goes after this one, though, hits it to third base, throws over to first, and that's the ball game, and New South Wales are heading to the grand final to take on Queensland. You see she hits this down third base. Natalie Titcomb handles it very comfortably, gets Peter Eddebone by a couple of steps, and that's the end of the ball game, and a wonderful win by New South Wales. They got the 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Victoria responded with 1 in the 5th, but then Natalie Ward put the icing on the cake as they run out winners 6 runs to 1 and take on Queensland.
Melanie Roach, great win for New South Wales, puts you in against the final tonight against Queensland. How many games have you pitched this tournament?
I don't know games, Joyce, but I think that would be 46 innings. That'd be a record, I think, in my career. Yeah.
The amount of strikeouts you've had this tournament's just been amazing. I've been sitting in the stands and having watched you for many years, I think this tournament you're moving the ball more than you have before. Have you done something before the tournament?
No, that's just, I think I learned a lot from the Olympic Games actually last year. My philosophy is if the ball moves, the batter won't hit it. And that's also shown here is that when the ball doesn't break, it doesn't have the movement, that's when the balls get hit over the fence or they get hit hard. So that was probably my goal this tournament, was to just make sure that the ball does break. And it's been successful, I guess, in some cases.
Well, it's been very successful with the number of strikeouts. Melanie, good luck for the final, and I really hope that bionic arm's going to keep going.
Thanks a lot, Joyce.
Well, that's it. All the preliminaries are out of the way. New South Wales have done it. They've earned the right to take on Queensland in the grand final, the climax of the 1998 Championships. On behalf of Joyce Lester, I'm Michael Palmer. Please join us next week for the grand final.